What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for day 6 in our second season of This War of Mine, where we're playing with the killiest group that we've ever had. Bruno came back from helping the man. That means we could presumably have 3 people who are tired right now. This is going to lead to a death spiral of tiredness, where you're not going to be able to get everybody done. So now... Apparently I should have brought home components last night. So yeah, the death spiral... Oh, actually, no, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. I think I can make this work. It's day 6. We have no components, which leads me to believe we should have a pretty good stock of everything else, though, right? I mean, we're looking pretty swell on everything else, correct? Okay. So what I'll do tonight is I'll bring home nothing but components. We'll go to the garage, or we'll go to one of the locations that has a lot of components, and that's all that we'll bring home. Do we still have filters left? Good. We still have 1 filter left. So at least we'll get some stuff done here. We don't have to feed anybody because it's not an off day. It's not an odd day, so that's good. We're in decent position right now. I'm happy with where our playthrough is at right now. Given the RNG in this game, and believe me, there is a lot of it, you can end up in a lot of different places at this point in the game. I was under the impression we had more components than we had. I must have just like fundamentally failed right there and just dropped the ball. Not only dropped the ball, but it was a bowling ball and it landed on my foot, so that's going to cost us a little bit. It's not going to cost us a lot. I mean, it's repairable. It's repairable, so essentially all this means is somebody has to sleep tonight, and then that'll fix it up, I think. But by and large, it means we have to sit here and like do nothing for an entire day, which kind of sucks too. So after doing the intro, what I may do is I'm going to cut this little period out where we're just sitting here doing nothing, and we'll come back later. Alright, I figure I cut out enough of the boring stuff. We're kind of on the back end of the day. I'm going to make some liquor, actually. I just realized that I can make like a big old stack of liquor and not have to worry about it, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I was trying to figure out things that I could do today that would actually accomplish something. We can also fix the guns, so I'm going to do that in case the trader shows up, because there's no reason for us to have a pistol. We're going to try and get a couple shotguns so that we can hold on to those, but like 2 shotguns and an assault rifle, you'd be good. You'll never have to fight anybody else for the rest of the game. Essentially, you'll be able to defend your house really, really simply. I am using up a little bit of wood right now doing all this, but... well, we got 37 wood. It'll be fine. I need to bring back components. What we'll do then is we'll upgrade this bench right here, and then we'll just spend an entire day just boarding up the holes in our house to try and be safe for the remainder of the game. Let's see, what's that going to cost me in order to do that? It's going to cost me 14 components. We're already good. We're already nice and golden. Alright, well, as soon as Bruno gets back up, let's have a look here. I was at the front line since shit got serious. My unit was always the first to go in and the last to get out. After I lost a quarter of my men, the elders decided we needed some R&R. That's how I wound up in Pagoran, where all was quiet. It was not to last. Okay. So he's kind of on the front line. It appears as though he had some kind of, like... he had some rank of command, because he said that a number of his men were killed. So that implies that he had some rank of command. Otherwise, he would say that my comrades died, or that my brothers died, or something like that. That's more the way that he would talk about it, I suppose, if he was on the front lines. He wouldn't say my men. That possessive nature right there makes me think that maybe he had some kind of commission, or at least was like a sergeant or something up there, somebody with authority. From what I understand, most sergeants are pretty well thought of if they're on the front lines. That seems to be... I have friends that are like big in the military who are now like approaching 30 and kind of like ending their military careers and all coming out of like combat roles and things like that, and they all seem to talk pretty highly of their gunnery sergeants and things like that. They all seem to speak pretty highly of the guys, so that's what I assume, is that sergeants are pretty well thought of by comparison to like butter bars and things like that. It's just the scuttlebutt that I hear anyways. Let's go ahead and end the day, because I don't think there's anything else we can accomplish right now. I mean, obviously the liquor is going to be up in just a second. You guys just brewed liquor in like 5 hours. I don't even want to know how nasty and rancid that shit's going to be. Like 5-hour liquor? Oh man, that's the stuff that make your retinas fall out of your head. Just like, book. I'm like, what's that on the floor? Oh, it's my retina. It fell out. I went drinking today. Been having a rough day. She can sleep in a bed. He's going to guard. We will have Roman go out and scavenge. And where we want to go today is going to be one of these locations that has a lot of stuff. The garage always has a ton of stuff, so might be a worthwhile location. We could check out the supermarket, but I'd rather do it tomorrow. Let's go to the garage. We're not going to need anything at the garage to trade with. We could give pills to the guy for his dad to get like saws and other stuff that's going to make our lives easier in the future, but I'd rather just keep everything wide open so that I can bring back 10 stacks of components so that we can have 40 components. You should be able to get quite a bit from right here, unless you come towards the end of the game. If you come towards the end of the game, there's not going to be much left, but as I understand, this location should have a lot of goodies here that we can loot up. And that'll allow us to basically trampoline our way into the middle of the game, where we can start boarding up our house and making sure that safety as a concern has been taken care of. Because from here on out, we kind of want to worry about little things like people shooting at us and trying to take our stuff and being dicks and saying mean things about our mothers, you know. All of those things that as you become more and more comfortable, you start to worry about. I would probably worry about the shooting before the talking about the mothers. But then again, some people maybe feel better about their mothers than others. You know, you never know. Some people have close relationships. Some people doth not. It kind of depends. Some people dothraki, which gets all kinds of crazy. I mean, some people doth not. But for those who dothraki, I would watch out. I would watch your step around them. I would watch your step around them. And I'm not even like a Game of Thrones guy. I've watched like the first season and that's it. I haven't even read the books because meh, reading. No, I actually limit all my reading time to comic books. I've decided at this point in my life I can focus on one aspect of reading. It could be comic books. It can be like global political commentary. Both things that I am fascinated by. But I've decided ultimately, I flipped a coin and I decided I was going to stick with comic books. I can't abandon my nerdiness. It's just something that I'm not able to do. I have no will. I have no will and no way, and therefore there is no way that I will weigh in and give up my comics. So right now I'm actually rereading the box sets of all of The Walking Dead. I'm most of the way through the first big book. Alright, so we should have brought back like 40 components. That should keep us totally squared away for at least a day or two. Let's go ahead and put Bruno to bed because he's going to have to cook dinner in a little while. And barring any weird stuff, we help that wounded man, so if we're in trouble one day, maybe somebody will help us as well. I have actually never seen that happen. Helping the wounded man has never come back around and actually assisted me in the future. It's always been just kind of like an altruistic gesture, and I treat it as such. There we go. We'll upgrade that to level 2, which will allow us to get to boarding our house. Down here, what we need to get to is distilling a bit more water, or purifying a bit more water with our little charcoal filter down here. If it's rainwater, you shouldn't have to purify it, but I guess they're being overly paranoid. We don't know if chemical weapons have been used or anything, so it's possible that there may be contaminants that allow us, or at least force us to have to use purifiers on our water. But yeah, our water supply took a pretty big hit right there when we went back through and made all of that liquor. So what we want to do for right now is let's get started on boarding up the house, because that is a big deal. Like, seriously, you should make this a priority, because it actually negates attacks. It makes attacks go away. So the frequency of bandit attacks will just kind of like vanish if you do this properly. Down here, I may go for, let's keep it a little light on filters for right now. I don't want to use up all of my components because I want to make sure that repairs get done when they need to get done. We should get our 4th survivor pretty soon. Typically, it's Katya with this group, but we'll see what happens. I can't tell you one way or the other who we're going to get. We also need to keep components around so that we can make ourselves a furnace and upgrade it to level 2 so that once winter gets here, we're in a little bit better shape. But all things to keep in mind. We've got still another 4 days to play with before our first event comes along. I'm hoping that we get the crime wave first, because a late game crime wave is way worse than, a late game crime wave. Actually, I don't think that's right. I think crime waves are equally as shitty no matter when you get them, but I would prefer to get them in the early game when the game cuts you a few more breaks than in the late game when they really come at you like balls to the wall. And by that I mean they actually try to rub their way through our walls with their balls on the side of the wall. It's disgusting and it smells bad. Makes the whole house smell like hamburger because nobody's showered in a while. It upsets me. But we did get a trader today, which actually takes a lot of weight off of us. Takes a lot of weight off of us. He's going to patch that hole. They never run to complete these tasks, and I wish that they would. There we go. So now we've got a bunch of liquor we can trade with this guy. We've also got a pistol. So let's start with the pistol. We'll start small and move our way out. I don't think we're going to get much out of the pistol. Yeah, the pistol tends to be one of those little things that you typically don't get much from, but it's still something. We'll trade for a component and a bunch of wood. Then on this side, we've got a ton of liquor that we can trade with this guy. So let's drop 2 liquors in right there. That's what I like to do. I always start with 2 because that seems to be the sweet spot for getting full stacks out of here. And then my throat's going to seal up because the universe hates me right now. Let's drop another liquor in there. We'll see what we can pull out of here, but actually I think it might be a better plan to go with more expensive stuff. There we go. So that'll do it, and then maybe drop some wood in. Nope, the wood's not going to count. What about some fuel? Ooh, he's not letting us have anything. Okay, that's fine. This is why we brew the liquor. This is why we brew the liquor, so that when this guy comes back through the neighborhood, we can just basically loot the hell out of his entire inventory. A couple bullets right there. We're going to future-proof as much as we can by grabbing bullets, because bullets will become, not incredibly rare, but by the end of the game, I have had a few situations where, based on loot and RNG, I've ended up in weird spots where I just didn't have enough bullets. And that sucks when it's the week before a crime wave. So just bear that in mind as you go through the game trying to grab the things that you can out of a situation. Okay, well, I'll take the parts. I guess I'll leave those out then. maybe take some tobacco because I'm going to get an herb garden up and running in just a little bit. And a couple of these herbs can actually be turned into... Actually, we have 7 of them? Yeah, definitely do that then because that's going to give us 9. We'll have 36 cigarettes that we can make. And actually a stack of 36 reasonable quality cigarettes will trade for a lot over here, especially if it goes in tandem with liquor. So I like this trade. This trade worked out for us. We've got a lot of the things that we're going to need over the future to continue upgrading things and making sure that we survive. I could drop some noise on him right here with some of these herbal medications if I was feeling particularly aggressive about my trading. But for now, we'll leave the deal where it's at. I'm going to let him sit out front. Yeah, actually. Yeah. Let's see what we can turn some of these herbal medications into. We don't need that many of them. I think that if we can turn that into some food and possibly some more stuff that we can I don't know if that trade is worth it right there. I don't know if that trade is worth it. I like it, but it might not be worth it. I would rather go for filters and fuel, maybe. You won't let me have any fuel? Alright. Well, maybe hold off on that right there. Ah, it's so close. Okay, maybe I can give him like lockpicks or something. Like, lockpicks aren't that valuable, so I don't really care about them. I tend to use saws and crowbars when I need to get into a place, and these are easy to craft. Like, I can make one at the drop of the hat if I really need to. I don't know if that's worth it. I can get more food from other locations. I'm not going to trade for food right now. I think I would rather trade one of these for fuel, and maybe like that right there. He won't give us 2. That and a lockpick, maybe? No. That and that. There we go. You want to get the best deal out that you can. Just fiddle around with it a bit, and then I'll send him on his way. Alright, so he's out. Bruno's back up, so what I need you to do is get over here and make us a mega meal right now. And that leaves Roman ready to go to bed right on time. I can't fall asleep on a schedule. I have insomnia like a bitch, so like when I have a schedule to sleep on, I never do. Like if I have something I have to do at like 6 a.m. the next day, I promise you I'm not going to sleep that night. It's just like, it's weird how that happens. It's not even related to anxiety. I sit there laying in bed just totally calm and just don't sleep. Insomnia is a bitch is the point that I'm getting to, and I feel sorry for you if you have insomnia. Mine's sporadic. I get insomnia very sporadically. Meh, not like every day. I'll go months without having it, and then I'll just go like a week where I don't sleep at all. Weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing. So now what I need from you, Bruno, is I need you to come back down here and make us a single meal as well. There we go. And we're going to keep water rotating the entire day. This is one of those days where there's actually like stuff to accomplish down here, so I figure we should like hang in here and actually televise the entire day. Does it count as televising, digitize? There we go. Let's make the final, let's board up the house in its finality. I'm going to send her upstairs to get that done before the day is through. And then what else can we afford to do down here? I want to get all of my workshop stuff done like right this second, if at all possible. Ooh, okay, so now we've got traps available because we've gone up to tier 2. We'll build the heater and everything that goes along with it once it becomes a necessity. I've upgraded this to level 2, correct? Okay, so that means I have to go to workbench level 3 in order to get up to level 3 before it'll work. I think that for right now, herbal workshop's a good call for cigarettes. So I think that's what I'll do next. Maybe put the herbal... Where can I put the quote-unquote herbal workshop here? There we go. We'll put that over there. I'm also going to have him abandon the job real fast and replace this water filter before I forget about it. Because you do want to stay ahead of your water usage. Like, seriously, if you can have a big surplus of like 25 water on day 20... If you can have 50 water in a stack on day 20, you're really, really in a good spot because you can sit there and just brew liquor all day long and essentially just trade for whatever you need without having to rob people. At this point in the game, our supplies are looking pretty solid. I may go for another run against that location where we murdered Botsina and see if we can... He's still hungry? Okay, we'll get him to eat dinner when he gets up. You, on the other hand... I don't know what I should do with the remainder of this. How many filters we have left? 2. That's not too terrible. Now, we're not going to use the herbal garden right now. What we're going to do is we're going to future-proof. We're going to convert all this herb into tobacco. And then we're just going to let it sit there until about day 9-ish. Day 9-ish, we're going to come back. Day 9 or day 10, we're going to come back and turn it into cigarettes so that we can use them as trade fodder. You don't want your people smoking up all the cigarettes. They don't affect morale that much anyways. Occasionally, he'll get sad because he doesn't have cigarettes, but he should recover without going too depressed, has been my experience. So everything should be alright. Everybody's looking good. We've boarded up all the holes in our house right now. There are no more upgrades left until we take this to level 3, which means that we can do the electric door after that. All in all, we're in a very good spot right now. By day 7, we're pretty much killing it right now. This is about the peak of efficiency you can be at until you get your 4th person. And I apologize if I peaked out. I hit that plosive a little bit hard, and I know it's probably going to deafen somebody, so I apologize. I've been trained not to do that, but I've actually been falling back into old habits over the time. So essentially what you do is if you want to make a B sound, what you do is you suck in air, and then you make an M sound at the same time, and you'll make a B sound like that, and you get used to it. You make soft B's. You learn how to do it. Or if you, you can do it from the back of your lips too. So instead of doing the B from the front of your lips, like pursing your lips, you can go B, and you can do it from the back of your lips, almost like a bubble coming out of your mouth, and that'll avoid you doing like a hard plosive too. I'll put him on guard duty, and I think we are actually going to go back to the semi-detached house. I think the supermarket's a decent plan too. But the semi-detached house is going to have it's going to have a bunch of like random loot that we can get out of there, and I think that's going to be a better plan for us right now. I don't think we have a saw, so we can't get back through the door right now. There's a door in here that you can saw through, but I think we'll just go with what it is right now. We'll try and get some of these supplies on hand. Nobody's going to try and fight us here. There's no reason for us to bring any of that stuff along with us. We unlocked all of the doors to begin with, unless they locked this right here. Sometimes they relock this door. Oh, no, they didn't. Okay, so since he's no longer sad, we're going to steal right here. They're going to come through the door and they're going to freak out, but it's fine by me. I don't care, like, in the slightest. Surprise! Oh, there's nothing in there. Who are you? I'm the guy that murdered that lady with the shotgun a few days ago, because that's how I roll. Because I don't give a damn. Go back in here and grab all the sugar so that we can make ourselves some more liquor. And once we got the sugar and the liquor, we can get ourselves some DACA. She's only going to wake up. Like, I think she just, like, sleeps through our whole terror-filled romp through all of their stuff. I think. Wow, that was a big scream. I don't think I've ever seen... She actually let out a big old, like, hell-raising Halloween scream right there. Nothing's going to happen to you. Stop, like, begging and pleading. Have some pride. Nothing's going to happen to you. Have some dignity. Calm down. I actually think I'm pretty much out of weapon parts, so if I can bring back some of this stuff with me, it'll probably be a good idea. I'd prefer to not have to come back here again. If we come back with a saw, we should be good. The coffee bean's not something that I'm interested in. I don't think there's anything left on the roof. I think we got it all. I think there's something in the basement down here that we should probably go take a look at, but at this point we're just trying to stack up like everything that we could possibly carry out with us. I may have not gotten everything from right here, too. Do I have any nappy-ass cigarettes over here? So we got a roll-up cigarette from Herbs. We got a cigarette. That'll probably be useful in the future once we start putting down traps. But for right now, since we don't even have it, we'll just go through some of the other stuff. This basement right here, sometimes you get burned on it. I don't really know what else to tell you other than that. Is sometimes I've wasted a saw to get in here and it's actually been an empty room with nothing inside of it. And then other times I've sawed through here and gotten like a full stack of materials in the late game. It just kind of depends. It's a little bit random. There's another grate right here that leads to a room with a whole bunch of food in it, so be aware of that as an option. I'm going to try and loot the rest of this place out as efficiently as possible while we run around. Anything that'll stack. Wow, this crazy lady ran all the way over here to the other guy's house that her sister was shooting people in. Okay, so there's another cigarette right there. I would prefer to leave cigarettes behind because they're just going to smoke them all up before the trader comes back anyways. Knowing full well, like I do, how long it's been since we had a trader last. I'll actually probably bring we're going to build a trap pretty soon, so I might bring the tomatoes back with me right now. This may be one of our last runs into this zone until we need more food, and we can saw off that grate to get at it. Bunch of random armaments over here. Won't need those till the late game. I got plenty of bullets right now. I'll probably do the supermarket tomorrow. I wish we had a better looter, was my big concern right now. Until we go to the supermarket, I prefer... We're looting at very much half capacity right now. If we don't get Marco or anybody else, I am going to be disappointed, in fact. Marco or Boris. Even Pavel would do. Like, Pavel would be suitable. Even 2 extra stacks is better than 10. There we go. That's the stuff that I'm looking for right there. That's a good run right there. I mean, it's not a component run, but it's a run where we definitely got a bunch of stuff that we need. Just kind of bookmark the rest of this with my eyes. It's a talent. Bookmarking things with your eyes. You know, you pull your eyeball out, you put it on the page, you close the book, it holds the spot. A lot easier if you have a glass eye. Your real eye may not go back in like it's supposed to. It may have like this weird splorshy thing going on when you try and put it back in. You've been warned. There's the waiver. Don't come suing me one day when you pull out your eyeball to use it as a bookmark and it doesn't go back in. There. It's not my fault. I take zero responsibility. Day number 8. Did we get raided? We did. We used 2 bullets to run them off. The attackers were very aggressive, but we fended them off. She still got wounded, weirdly enough, even though she wasn't on guard duty. Strangely enough, she somehow got wounded. I don't know. Let's put him to bed for right now, because we're going to need him to cook a meal later on. We may want to double the guard shift from here on out and not allow somebody to sleep. I think it's probably time that we build our second bed, and then we double up on the guard. We're far enough into the game right now where I'm starting to become concerned about the long-term ramifications of being raided. We need another gun as well. I sold the pistol, but I know we can get another gun from somewhere else, so it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It's weird that we're taking wounds, though, with ranged combat. That seems to belie that they're able to get into the house somewhere, and I went to all the effort of boarding everything up, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. Make that cigarette right there. You get to work on that. We'll swap the filters in just a second. There we go. That final tobacco was made. We'll swap the filter. We've got 2 more, so that'll get us up to 35 water, which is good. Very, very nice. That means we could probably get our next batch of liquor going. Maybe. Maybe. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Up here, the second bed will allow us to rest a little bit more efficiently during the day, so that at night we can leave more people on guard duty. So that's unfortunately the position we've been forced into right now. I believe that'll leave us with 15 water for our next day. Yeah, go for it. That'll be fine. 5 more liquor just in case we get a trader before we're planning for him. I was going to make the cigarettes tomorrow on day 9 anyways, so that we'll have cigarettes and liquor for this guy. Or worst case scenario is if we need to go buy another gun, we can take a bunch of cigarettes and liquor to the military base and just sort of have that happen. Over here, we're going to get about 44 cigarettes out of this, and it's going to take them all day to make them. That's going to be a long-term project right there, but still, it'll work out. These guys are all just going to sleep, and I think I'm going to break the episode off right here. So my name is Splattercat. Thank you for... Oh, wait, somebody's at the door. What we got going on? Oh, is that Boris? Oh, tell me we got Boris. Yes! Oh, this is the greatest playthrough ever. We got Boris. My neighborhood got... I'm gonna do my Boris voice. My neighborhood got shelled while I was working on a night shift out at the local warehouse. I helped clear the rubble and get the survivors out, but we couldn't save everyone. When I got home, I found it in ruins. Can I stay with you for some time? It looks to me like you could use a pair of strong hands. And I will say yes to that. Hell yeah. So Boris is the dude. Boris is what's up. He's one of my favorite characters. He has 17 loot slots, and he's the greatest. And he's not sick. Even better. Usually when you get free characters in your house, they're like sick, or there's like some payoff for you taking them in, and there's nothing you can do about it. You just gotta like live with it. At 1150 though, we pretty much have an amazing group of survivors right now that basically cannot be stopped. Like, our survivors at this point in the game are pretty much hectic beyond all belief. Like, these guys are legit. If I make a saw tonight, we can actually rob the guy over at the garage. But yeah, let's make a couple saws, because we're going to need them for a bunch of stuff later on anyways, and I'd rather have a good supply of saws. Okay, so now I'm going to break off the episode. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerdcastle for the next episode of This War of Mine. Obviously, nothing else is going to happen today. I'm going to swap filters. We're going to come back in the next episode at the night period, and we'll figure out what we want to do. I'll see y'all there. Take care out there, buddy, and hi-do.